when we're really thinking about these ways to disrupt cycles, I think something that's unique about how we think about our partners like United Way of King County that are doing the work is that we think about, okay, what are those access points like tuition, but also what are the barriers within the programs that can cause someone to have to drop out or derail them from their ultimate goals. And so United Way of King County is doing that with the emergency programming that Bridge to Finish provides.
This is Hourglass, the podcast for United Way of King County in Seattle. Coming up, a conversation with United Way partner Symetra Financial Corporation, a Bellevue-based diversified financial services company. Symetra has partnered with United Way for more than 15 years through programs such as Bridge to Finish, a United Way one-stop resource on local college campuses that helps students access services to complete their education. We'll chat with Sharmila Swenson, Symetra's Vice President of Public Affairs and Social Impact, and Beth Osborne, Symetra's Director of Public Affairs and Strategic Community Partnerships, on topics including how our Bridge to Finish program aligns with Symetra's commitment to strengthening communities. And we'll chat with Emily Portillo, United Way's Bridge to Finish program manager, about how the support from partners like Symetra helps United Way serve local college students in areas such as financial and housing stability. We will also spotlight an upcoming United Way Happy Hour and Hellos event this month in North Seattle, and a July event in Pioneer Square sponsored by United Way grantee Choose 180. I'm your host, Joe Burris. Thanks for tuning in. At United Way of King County, we're working tirelessly to fulfill our vision of a community where all people thrive. That work would not be possible without partners who share our passion for and commitment to ensuring that our neighbors have a quality education, enough to eat, access to resources, and a safe place to call home. One of those partners is Symetra Financial Corporation, a Bellevue-based diversified financial services company. Symetra has partnered with United Way for more than 15 years through programs such as Bridge to Finish, which helps students at local colleges get the services they need to stay in school and complete their education. According to a 2022 article by the independent news organization The Conversation, 53% of community college students in the U.S. left school early because of tuition and fees, and 48% left early due to cost of living expenses. Symetra's recent funding to United Way supports our Bridge to Finish emergency grant services for 100 students pursuing degrees or certificates at local colleges. Many of those served by Bridge to Finish include first-generation college students, parenting students, and students grappling with housing and financial instability. Bridge to Finish offers support via benefits hubs on college campuses where students can access not only emergency cash grants, but food, clothing, housing support, and tax filing assistance. Symetra's support has not only helped United Way fulfill our vision of thriving communities, but it's enabled college students to realize their dreams of earning degrees and pursuing productive careers. That aligns with Symetra's goals of strengthening our communities by targeting resources toward underserved women, youth, and students. Symetra was launched in 1957 and currently has 5.5 million customers and more than 3,200 employees nationwide. Symetra provides employee benefits, annuities, and life insurance through a national network of benefits consultants, financial institutions, and independent agents and advisors. Symetra also strives to create long-term positive change in communities through a combination of corporate and employee giving and a commitment to volunteerism. Hourglass sat down with Sharmila Swenson, Symetra's Vice President of Public Affairs and Social Impact, and Beth Osborne, Symetra's Director of Public Affairs and Strategic Community Partnerships, on topics including how our Bridge to Finish program aligns with Symetra's commitment to strengthening communities. We also chatted with Emily Portillo, United Way's Bridge to Finish program manager, about how support from partners like Symetra helps United Way serve local college students in areas such as financial and housing stability. We began with Sharmila, who spoke about Symetra's vision of creating a world where more people have access to financial freedom.
At the heart of what we do is a commitment to taking care of our customers, right? So we are stepping in times of need for people. Oftentimes, life insurance is an amazing benefit that somebody can have and then take care of their family after they're gone. Retirement solutions, right? All of those things at the heart of it are about taking care of people. And so I would say that it is very much core to our nature and our mission as a company that we are engaged in taking care of the community as well. So I think that is something that has been long part of our mission and goals as a company, and something that makes it pretty easy for us to do the work we do with a lot of support from our leadership in engaging in community and serving the community.
Wonderful. So explain how Symetra's programming is increasing access to education for underserved students and to reduce barriers for women, particularly your work with United Way of King County.
Sure. So our Empowers program, Empowers is the name of the community program that we have, is focused on 3 specific issue areas. So affordable housing and homelessness, barrier reduction for women, and scholarship for underserved students. So maybe I'll start a little bit with the education piece of things. We really believe that education is one of the best ways to address long-term individual well-being and systemic inequities. So similar to having a product like life insurance product, I think that education has the opportunity to have that transformational impact on not only an individual, but their generations and their family. And so we really felt like education was a no-brainer for us. It was certainly one of those tools that could be an equalizer for people. It's not a given that everybody has equal access, as we know. And so education was one of those spaces where we knew from the beginning that we wanted to make sure that we were focused some portion of our community efforts in the space of education. And, we really think about both the short-term needs and then the long-term piece of things. So our hope short-term is that we can help people and help to have a direct and immediate impact. Long-term, we hope to lean in the advocacy space to come alongside our community partners and elected officials to try and address educational inequity and think about ways that we can help support changing those systems so that more people have access and an easier pathway to education.
Yeah, and building on that, so when we're really thinking about these ways to disrupt cycles, I think something that's unique about how we think about our partners like United Way of King County that are doing the work is that we think about, okay, what are those access points like tuition, but also what are the barriers within the programs that can cause someone to have to drop out or derail them from their ultimate goals. And so United Way of King County is doing that with the emergency programming that Bridge to Finish provides. So we're really thinking about partners that want to help these students get to completion. Since we started in 2021, we have worked with nonprofits like United Way of King County to provide over 100 direct scholarships, but also with the partners who are doing this work in this wraparound way, 3,800 additional students are also getting supports with things like transportation and childcare and getting a chance to complete. So I'm really proud of the work that all these partners are doing, and United Way of King County certainly is doing amazing work in this area as well.
Well, can you talk a little bit about your return on investment doing this work, and particularly your programmatic and advocacy learnings from it?
Yeah, well, one thing that I think is really important, and we haven't talked as much about the focus on women and the programs that we support in that category, but that is women are investing and reinvesting in their communities by 2 to 1. So when you invest in women, you're also having a dramatic impact on everyone in the community. So providing the opportunities for women to gain their economic opportunities and financial stability is really important to us for that reason. And we've been working to do this through investing in small business training, providing supports for survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault, which happen across all economic spectrums, working on financial literacy, professional leadership skills so that they can elevate what they've learned. And then again, in the Bridge to Finish program, these wraparound supports like childcare. It's really interesting, though, when you look at the national landscape for domestic giving for women and girls, it is the Lilly Family School of Philanthropy. They have done studies annually on this, and the number really hovers around only 2%.
Wow.
So it's really low numbers. And I think that that's one of the reasons that we are seeing return on investment in these programs that are serving women.
And now talk about some upcoming Symetra opportunities, events, or happenings that you'd like to amplify.
Yeah, so we have kind of a yearly schedule of things that we're doing in the community. And one of the things that we have coming up that everybody in the company generally looks forward to is our Summer of Service. So this has evolved over the years. Prior to the pandemic, it was a week of service, and it was a time where our team sets up a number of volunteer activities all across the country, and employees can sign up for those activities and go out and volunteer during the workday with their teammates and friends and just be out there doing good things in the community. During the pandemic, that shifted a bit, right? We had online opportunities that we offered during that time. We kind of extended it to Summer of Service, from Week of Service to Summer of Service. And we had events and projects that people could plug into across a 3-month period, which was great, and people were able to go and participate that way. After the pandemic, we've scaled that down to a month. So it's evolved over time, but it's something that our employees always look forward to. We have, close to 90 projects across the country that our teams will put together with our nonprofit partners, and then employees can go out and give back together. So that's something that everybody really, really loves. It's a program that has been around for quite some time in some iteration, and it's one that we look forward to each summer.
And so lastly, what gives you hope in doing this work?
For me, it's because I really genuinely see the impact, and the impact comes in working together. It comes in finding those alliances between business and nonprofit leaders, the community, and government. And when we all work together towards the same thing, we really can make a difference. And you, as an individual, can be part of something bigger.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that for us, we see that when we're collectively making investments in programs that are centered on lived experience, that are data informed, and that are seeking to continually grow and learn from the experience that they're having, that we really see the intended impact. I also love just the opportunity for those kind of unexpected learnings. I think about a project that we had a couple of years ago that was piloting a program for homeless youth and trying to figure out, how do we better serve them in the space of financial literacy and financial education, because these young people need it more than others, right? They have to figure out how to survive, how to take care of themselves, how to budget and plan. And they're a unique population. So we brought in junior achievement at the national level to help develop some curriculum for the organization. And it was a great partnership, right? It was this opportunity for us to kind of leverage the dollars we had to fund a pilot, and to think about how do we support serving these young people. And so they got together and they put together a curriculum and program, and the nonprofit serving the youth got this program that they could roll out with their clients. And JA, had this experience of developing programming for a population that they really hadn't served in the past. And I think one of the most amazing, beautiful pieces of it that came out of that was that in the process, JA realized that there were bias built into the programs that they had, and that they were not necessarily speaking to the reality for a lot of the students that they were working with. And whether or not they were homeless or not, they have students that that are struggling, right? Their families are struggling and they have very, very different needs than have been kind of traditionally aimed at through their programming. So they started to rethink, how do we make sure that we are sensitive in our curriculum and the way that we deliver it to the fact that, these young people are having experiences that are all across the spectrum.
Okay.
And so the opportunity to, fund something that would help locally and get young people some skills that they needed locally, but then to have an impact on a national organization that's really a leader in this space, and for them to think about things in a different way than they had before, just felt like it was a really great win-win. So I love it when we have opportunities like that and there's something like that as an outcome.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you. So, Emily, can we talk a little bit about the support from partners like Symetra with Bridge to Finish?
Yeah, so Symetra is able to give us some funding that supports us in being able to do the work that we do every day. So some of the work that we're supporting our community and technical colleges partners with is supporting them in operating a basic needs resource hub. So our partnerships are really centered on partnering with community and technical colleges where we know provide the greatest access to students who are looking for a post-secondary education.
Mm-hmm.
When they come into community and technical college, they're obviously looking for opportunities. And as mentioned, there's things that get in the way. Particularly in Washington State, we see that 1 in 2 students experience a basic needs insecurity. And so there aren't a lot of resources available to address those specific insecurities. There's lots for academics and tuition, but we do see that notable gap. And so when we do have partners who can come in and provide flexible funding that's targeted towards populations like women, we're able to ensure that they can have their basic needs met and that they're not at risk of dropping out.
Can you talk a little bit about the post-secondary summit that was recently held?
Yeah, so we just hosted a post-secondary student housing summit at Tacoma Community College on March 25th. This was our second summit in our annual series, where we're really trying to bring together cross-sector agencies so that they can come for a day of learning and understanding who are students, what are their needs, and how can we come together to build a solution that makes sense for students. And so this summit was a really great day. It was a day-long activity where we had 150 participants come. They were able to undergo a day of learning and hear from a variety of speakers. They were also able to learn about new innovative models that are already supporting students. And I think one that I'll just quickly highlight is like a Highline College. They have a really great partnership with the King County Housing Authority to provide Section 8 vouchers to students. And if you don't know, Section 8 vouchers sometimes can take anywhere from 5 to 10 years to actually get access to. And the fact that they're able to offer this resource to students means that while they're in school, they don't have to think about housing. And so it just allows them to just focus on their college, and just gives a good example of like what is possible when you have these partnerships, and what is possible, particularly when like within the housing authority's role. And so it was really inspiring to hear those stories. After folks learned about those models, they were able to come together and wrap up the day with a regional solutions lab. And during that lab, we essentially said, hey, as part of your region, what are the core challenges you're seeing around housing, and how can we work together to build solutions? And so we had folks from nonprofits, from government, for policymakers, able to put together a poster that said, this is how we want to commit to resolving these issues for students. And so it was just a really, really powerful day to build that awareness and then also turn that into action.
Wonderful. Emily, Beth, Sharmila, thank you so much for your time today on Hourglass. Really appreciate you.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
To learn more about Symetra, log on to symetra.com. To learn more about United Way's Bridge to Finish program, log on to uwkc.org, click on Get Help, click on Student Resources, and click on Resources for College Students. Join us on June 10th for United Way of King County's next Happy Hour and Hellos event. slated for the 8 Bells Winery in Maple Leaf. Happy Hour and Hellos is our networking series that allows professionals to mix and mingle over refreshments, learn more about United Way's work in the community, and ways to get involved. The June 10th event will feature food from Indigenous-owned cafe and food truck Off the Res, music and entertainment from Seattle's DJ Listo, speeches from United Way staff, and the silent auction. The event begins at 6 p.m. For more information, log on to uwkc.org/events. Mark this on your summer events calendar. Choose 180's first ever pop-up on July 19th at 210 Seattle, an historic naturally lit blank canvas space in Pioneer Square. Choose 180 is a Buren-based United Way supported organization that works to transform systems of injustice and support the young people that are impacted by those systems. Choose 180's pop-up is a partnership with minority-owned local businesses and creators to build their own version of a community market, featuring flower stands, coffee and matcha carts, local artists, barbers, tattoos, and more. The organization will also launch its new Building Futures merch line at the event. Choose 180 Director Nika Payne says the event intends to create visibility for local businesses and build community around the work Choose 180 does with young people.
But what's equally exciting about that is that part of who we'll be bringing as vendors are 2 past participants who went through one of our diversion programs and through working with us and, of course, their own amazingness, are now operating their own business. And so they will be able to be there with us and highlight the work that we do. And I think that's just talk about a 180 moment. And so it's so exciting. So it's more than just a pop-up for us. It's a way to have folks really see firsthand 5 years ago or 3 years ago, these 2 participants entering in off of a referral, right? And went through our diversion program, now business owners, and get to partner with us, right? So that's really exciting.
Choose 180 will soon post additional information about the event on its website, choose180.org. At United Way of King County, we are working side by side with communities to build an equitable future for everyone. Hourglass United Way is a podcast that highlights how we and our partners spend time making a difference in our communities. Our work is made possible by generous donations from people like you. Please send all comments and suggestions about our podcast to hourglass@uwkc.org. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn via @UnitedWayKC. And to learn more about our work or to support United Way, log on to uwkc.org. I'm your host, Joe Burris. Thanks for listening. Until next time.